Hello and welcome to the Slip Slip Sis YouTube channel. I am Che, half of your Slip Slip Sis duo here, and I'm coming to you with Knitcules labor number 8. I believe I just double checked this, and of course I checked the name of the labor, not the number. I'm feeling confident that it's number 8, but if I'm wrong, I do apologize. But this is the labor that is based on Hercules' challenge, that is the horses of Diamedes. And so the premise for this challenge is that the horses are untamable horses. I believe these are the ones that are the mad flesh-eating horses. Don't totally remember since doing my initial research, but I know it is about taming like a wild stallion or the wild horses. So the knitting equivalency that my sister and I have decided upon is that I am going to tame my partial skeins. So earlier I did do the labor of cataloging all of my skeins back there, so my full skeins. But what I didn't touch were any of the partial skeins, and I've pulled them out for us. They stay in a bin that I keep hidden away from myself. I wonder why, because I don't know about you all, but I very rarely use an entire skein of yarn for a project, especially like I love knitting socks, and so like for sure I do not use the entire skein for that. And I have like gotten into the habit of pawning the extras off on my sister, but I still do have quite a ton, and those partials are laying around everywhere, all over my craft room. And I'm actually looking now, there's one on my table here that I completely forgot that I have. So while like there are many ways you could tame your knitting things, so you could tame your whips, all the things, however anyone else wants to interpret as challenge, I have decided to tame my partials. So here is my giant bin of partial skeins. So this one is fresh because these were all of the skeins I had brought up with me for my trip to the Bay Area. Check out Vlogtober if you want to see bits and pieces of that trip. So these are the skeins that I was using, the minis that I was using, or also the partials for my granny square blanket that I did complete. And I will say some of the larger partials got left at my parents' house because I did not have room in my luggage. And my dad's like, this is going to like get rid of 2 grams. I'm like, it's the principle. So there are some, I will say, that are still in the Bay Area. And then the rest of the things that are in here. So about a year and a half ago, I did move into this condo. And when I moved, to protect everything, we put stuff into these giant bags, which was helpful. But since then, that has completely fallen apart. And now everything is just kind of like tossed in the bottom here. I have such random stuff. So like this is my sock blank that I still haven't used, that is all mushed up. Oh, look! Random scrap yarn. This is a project we were supposed to do as a family, but have still yet to do. Ugh, this feels hard because this is all lace weight. I don't want to do that. I also have like, oh look, this is all of the mohair that I own. And then this is a random dishcloth that I started. Oh, this is hilarious. This is the foot of, you can kind of see in the darkness right there, that is my dinosaur. We had made this foot, but it was too big. So we had to, I think my gauge was off between, I'd taken a gap between making them, so I had to remake the foot. This is just the foot. And then I have all this random stuff laying at the bottom here of partial skeins. So here's the goal. So I'm going to do my best, I think, first of all, And the goal or the plan, I think, is to, if things need to be rewind them. If not, then that's okay, they can stay. I want to weigh the skeins and kind of do like a split between ones that are probably like 50 grams and above, and ones that are 50 grams or less. And so that I can kind of sense of like, because the 50 grams or above for me, like I'm like, I can make a whole pair of socks out of these. So these are like substantial skeins of yarn. And then the ones that are 50 grams or less, like those are easy to do, like heels, toes, and cuffs. So those are kind of like scrap yarn where it's needed. And then anything that is 10 grams or less is going to go into the magic knot ball for my sister. And I don't remember which challenge she talked about this in, but she was like bragging about how far along she'd gone with her magic knot ball for me. I have hers right here. So this is my sister's magic knot ball, mouth for scale. So I have a ton, I know, that I can add in for her. And then I also have another magic knot ball going for myself. Again, mouth for scale. Smaller one, dainty. And this is for my granny short blanket that I'm working on. So if I have like something, okay, so here's the goal. 50 grams or above, one bag. 50 grams or less, another bag. 10 to 20 grams, I'm gonna split it between the two magic knot balls. 10 grams or less goes into Gabs's magic knot ball. I think that's the game plan. And I think that that's how that's going to work for the odds and ends. So the foot, this is obviously a project. I'm probably going to put this into where I have like my sweaters quantities, because those are things that are like set aside for projects. I have no idea what we're going to do with this. And then I will keep all of the mohair together. Those things will just go back in. I think, I guess I can put this in my whip bin, or honestly, I started this because I was doing like a demo for something for graduate school many years ago. It's not very far along. You know what? We're just gonna frog it. And like I had the straight needles. I never use straight needles. So that's just going to exist as is. Woo! We've got some good cotton here, and I'll probably just hold on to this if I ever do want to make another dishcloth. I kind of I have a different bin for like my acrylics or like the basically not indie dyed yarn, things that I've bought from like Joanne or like Knit Picks that are not in like a full intact skein. I have a whole other area for this. I'll probably add this back into there, so then this clears up that space. Oh look, a finished dishcloth. I should probably give this to somebody. Maybe I'll give it to my mom. She might like it. Okay, well, this is why we do these challenges, friends. Okay, what else is in here? Ooh, a tapestry needle. All right, and a paper clip, because I was demonstrating how you can use a paper clip as a progress keeper. So awesome. Okay, that is cleared out. So now it is time to weigh and sort things. Yes, that is the game plan. I feel solid about it. It doesn't feel too complicated. Let's do this. All right, I've got my piles. So these are the ones that are around like 20, 30, 40-ish grams. These ones are the ones that are anywhere from like 12 to 17. So these ones, I forgot. I had some intact ones that were in there. And then these ones, those two there are ones I decided, while they're not enough for full heels, toes, and cuffs, they would be enough for heels and toes. Plus I like them, so I wanted to save them in case I do want to use them for that kind of contrast on a sock. These ones are the ones that are ready to go into the magic knot balls. And then these are the ones that are like significant skeins that could be like whole other projects. So we have those sorted out. And so now I think from there, I'm going to do some rewinding of a couple of these. I also wanted to add that I am doing some prep for an advent swap that is hosted by Mad Cow Mandy. And so I also am using this time to kind of like figure out what skeins I can use for that. I think I have to do 20-gram skeins. I can't totally remember. I do have the instructions in my email, but this is helping me now having these sorted. I can figure out like which ones would be good to save for the swap, and then I can now see, and then I can see them, figure out. I don't believe that my partner had any color preferences, but I will try and do kind of like generally around the same kind of vibe, not too totally random for them. So, but this has definitely helped in that, and so again, I am going to rewind everything. Then I am going to decide like which ones I want to parcel out to do for, actually, no, I think I'm going to put aside the things I want to add to the person's advent first before I rewind them, because I might need to like only do a part of it. So like, for example, like if I wanted to use this one, like I'm not going to give them all 70 as their partial skein. So I might do the 20 that they need and then rewind the thing. So I'm going to do that first, then rewind everything, then get things rebagged, and then all the ones that are going into the magic knot ball, then they will go into the magic knot ball. So I will check in with you. I feel like because there's a lot of moving parts here, I may not be able to get a ton of footage because it's like a lot of setup for you to see like 10 seconds of me winding skeins. But I will check back in after I'm done with that piece. Turns out I only have to do 10-gram minis. So I have pulled out which ones I want to do for that. I'm going for kind of like a woodsy, muted vibe, kind of like foresty, cozy cottage vibes for them. And so I'm now going to get those set up, and I, in my mind, had to do 24. We're only doing 12. So that also helps out a lot. All right, take a look at that. We are all sorted, and they are ready to go into the bin. Let's do it together because it's so satisfying, right? Ooh, look at that fit. Love it. Love it. If only I had one of those like space vacuum, space bag things. That might be nicer, but that's okay. Oh, well, don't we just feel better? Okay, now all we have to do is put all of those into Gabs's magic knot ball. Gabs says that we need 500 grams for our blankie. Bada boom, baby. Look at that. All right, so now that this beautiful baby, mouth for size, or mouth for scale, is done. Well, I'm still waiting on Gabs to reply to me. This is solid, like a shot put. So I still actually have quite a few of my scraps here. You can kind of see them there. And then I also have a few in the baggie. Those will go into my magic knot ball that I'm using for my granny stripe. But I'm actually feeling quite impressed with myself that I was able to finish that magic knot ball. So we're going to consider this labor check complete because the horses, the partial skeins, have been tamed. All of these babies have a destination, and the mightiest magic knot ball of all is complete. So on to the next labor, the next challenge. We will see you next time.